Okay, how does this work? Oh, cool. I probably don't want to hear myself. That will be feedback. What am I listening to anyway? Oh, okay. Oh, so how does this work? Oh, cool. I probably don't want to hear myself. That will be. All right. Well, hello everyone. I don't know if this is working. I hope it is. And right now, this is the Jankyard, but it is a solo operation. It's just me, the treatment, Schmendrix, and Killer Cactus could not make it tonight. They're both busy. And so, unless I get a volunteer co host, you're just going to have to listen to me and my rambling thoughts on the game. Tonight, we're going to be watching, I believe it's a quarterfinal game between Tuxedo and Flora. Or sorry, the semifinal game. And this is for the Winter Waves Open 2023. Flora is running an Aerodel deck with Mirror Spirits, and Tuxedo, I believe, is running Hope Creepers. I'm just going to pull up his list. Yeah, Hope Creepers with all three double downs, and then throws in False Demon in there as well. I think probably as a flex book, although I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually possible that he runs a 5-book open. And so this should be very interesting because I'm not really sure how Airedale in general matches up against Creepers. Creepers has been the talk of the last several months, several tournaments, in terms of just being so efficient. And Tuxedo really has his pared down to just go sort of all in on the Creepers. He's got only 3 allies, 3 Raptor Herders, the 5 books, and then 3 Molten Golds, 3 Wraths, and 15 reactions. So very reaction heavy, a mix of defensive and offensive reactions. He's got Fate Reflections, Flash Strike, a single Ice Trap, 2 Sympathy Pains, the Void Pulses, of course, and the Double Downs as mentioned earlier. So this should be quite interesting to see. And the game is just getting started. I appear to be on a little bit of a lag, so that'll be interesting. I don't know if I can fix that or if it's kind of too late, but so be it. And it's a very quick first 5 selection. We're already starting with Tuxedo putting out the Creepers, no surprise, and the Gilder for Flora, which is also no surprise. I think between the Gilder Ping and Water Blast, that will be the main way that Aerodel can attempt to deal with the both the Creeper and the Seedling and keep them off the board. So we'll see here if Tuxedo started 4 book plus the double down, or if he actually went 5 book to try and just outvalue Aradel over the course of the game. All right, it's going very quick as an opening. Oh, hey, Waves, are you there? Okay, well, I have Waves joining me in Game Room 1. Hopefully, it picks up on the broadcast. I really am not the tech guy. Schmendrix is the tech guy, so we'll see if it worked. But yeah, round 1 is so far flying with all the books dropping, and now Creeper finally being the first unit out on the board. We've seen now a Molten Gold meditated away. Bring up the discard piles here. And a Flash Strike meditated on Tuxedo side.
The treatment. I am late, but here. How you
Hey,
doing?
good. I don't know if I have the setup, so I'm hoping that people can hear you on the YouTube stream. And I think I ended up setting up to whatever normal latency is, so it seems like we got a couple seconds of lag. But yeah, if it all works, then this is awesome. Oh, and cool. We've got some people joining us. We got Charlotte saying, hey. We got Shadowfire jumping on. Age of the Clankomatics. Tim and Shadow again saying, hope he starts Fate Reflection to protect the seeds. So that's an interesting thought. We'll see. How are you doing, Waves?
Oh, doing very well. Very, very well. Really excited for this final four here. Looks like we have 4 book versus 4 book, and we see the duplicate coming out.
Yep. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. What are your I guess predictions or thoughts on how this is going to roll out?
It's tough because Hope has so much value loaded for attack if she can get the seeds up and going. But Aradel, I think, has the tool set to potentially deal with the seeds. You got the Gilder to pop the Creeper, and then Water Blast to instantly kill the seedling. So um, it might depend on whether we get a duplicate or the what do you call it? The reaction where you get double creepers out.
Awesome. Some people, Thomas said that you're a little soft, so I hope I can raise the volume a little bit. Oh, the
Okay. Oh,
illusion die is gone. Okay, so it's not going to
ah,
be double down then. Hmm. I mean, I guess it's not strictly necessary to try and get out, the 3 or 4 seedlings round 1 versus Aradel because you still actually have to deal with the pressure. And otherwise you're creating chump blockers. But I guess so. Fate Reflections? Okay, Shadowfire called it. Good job, Shadow. All right.
yeah, it's interesting that I mean it's not all bad because Aradel was able to just lose a monk spirit from the fate reflection, but yeah, those 2 seeds, we'll see if Tuxedo can convert on them. And the Huntmaster coming down now.
Yeah, it's going to be
But now that
interesting. He's going to have to guard at
yeah,
least one of
yeah.
them.
I think the Panther Spirit might be good to guard because it's going to perish anyway. That's at least one way of thinking about guarding against it.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically there's going to be guaranteed thorns out next round for the side action and then bloom or blossom. Sorry.
Yeah. And that's not going to bode very well for the Huntmaster there.
Well,
3 life.
the Gilder will come out to stop at least one of them.
Right, right.
But I mean, if he just swings for 6 damage, then Flora has to decide whether to take 6 or whether to sacrifice the Huntmaster, which then kills the thorn and gives another token onto the other seedling. And Tuxedo is still showing a power time here. So in theory, he could go for 4 thorns this round. Although I doubt he would want to because that sort of breaks the cycle. Oh, frog ping here. Next round, maybe? That's interesting. I wonder why she chose to go after the crab. I don't.
Might be
I
a
feel like this was a misplay because no matter what, like in this case, you're not pressuring guard, you're not killing the crab, um, you're not getting any value out of that that buffed panther spirit swing.
yeah, and Tuxedo swinging back to get that value with the crab. Very
Yeah.
good.
So Timothy says, "Can Flora sacrifice health here for board control round 2?" I mean, she is getting the top of round, um, but now, I mean, what do you like? This just basically cleans up your board unless you're going to take another 3, and then blocking with the Huntmaster kills a thorn, like I said. So you're risking another set of thorns, or um, you kill off a thorn, but you're still not actually setting up any mirror spirit play because nothing's going to be exhausted really. That was an odd attack, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's pretty rough for Aradel here. It's kind of a lose-lose where if she lets those thorns through so that more thorns don't spawn, then she's taking so much damage this round, which could easily be finished off by burn later.
Yeah, because
But if she
as
blocks, then she's feeding that luminous seedling, so it's a little bit of a catch-22, I think.
yeah, yeah, it's I think almost certain that she's not going to end up with much on board other than maybe a Gilder. I mean, Tuxedo still has the Salamander and Snapper, so that's at least um, 3 more units and like 4 or 5 more main actions. He can just kind of hold out and take things slowly. And Flora's on the defensive now. Oh, I didn't think about this. So waves. I mean, you should introduce yourself. All I know is you're a fellow Canuck, right?
Yes, indeed, hailing from the province of Ontario,
There we go.
where we got uh, another wave of snow and more to come this weekend.
Yeah, I just got a warning about some Texas storm moving up and potentially uh, a huge storm overnight. So we'll see.
Hmm, hmm.
All right. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's Killer chatting from his alt account, the earlier Jankyard account. He's saying that he doesn't like the attack, got to hit the seed there, and now Tuxedo will make more thorns instead of the snapper, which I think is, I mean, he can actually do both because the other thorn got killed off. So this is like, I think this is worst case scenario.
Yeah. So we have a spare frog for Tuxedo as well, so he could even get 2 more damage through on the snapper by targeting the Huntmaster and break guard there. And two
Yeah,
more thorns coming through. This is looking pretty rough.
I think in this case you swing snapper at Huntmaster, and it has to be guarded, probably by Gilder, and then you're able to blossom the next round and pressure the Huntmaster once again. and either Aradel takes another 3, which would bring her down to 6, which is terrible, or you just let it die, and then you've got nothing. You're taking at least another 3 because there's going to be two thorns out.
Hmm.
I guess you can chump block with Mirror Spirit, but this is really, really rough. And Sally hasn't even been used, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it GG yet, but this has put Flora in a massive um, deficit. Oh, I'm disconnected. Haha. There we go.
So Mirror Spirits come out with 1 token on it at least. So it'll be able to trade evenly with the Salamander Monk to some extent, although losing a dice in that exchange.
Yeah. People caught me
And
DC, but I only missed the Mirror Spirit coming down and the swing. Oh man. So I mean, let's see. In terms of the draw or the discard pile, if Tuxedo draws a Void Pulse and a Molten Gold, it is feasible that he closes it out on burn damage in like 3 turns.
interesting to see the counter there.
Yeah, I guess might as well counter because the frog ping is up, and then you get no value. But this is just
Fair enough, fair enough.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep.
So floor passes, and okay, Tuxedo takes the ping anyway, and now he gets to just, in theory, do a full swing,
Okay,
and
so
you have to guard or block. Sorry, you have to block one
yeah.
of the thorns, but you're
Yeah,
still
like you
taking
said,
4.
the Hunt Master is likely dead um, off of the Void Pulse near the top of round in any case. So
Yep. So wow, down to 5 with no units on board. Tuxedo is going to be keeping Snapper and the Monk Spirit up. Uh, this is really, really rough. And now, because what was kind of neat, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but the Snapper has tough as well. So just to clear these attackers is going to be an issue. Like Tuxedo can just chip away so slowly, but if she doesn't clear the Snapper, then you get duplicated Snapper if he wants. Oh, okay. Well, Chaos Theory had talked about um, Raptor Herder being a great defensive unit, and this is why. Sometimes you need 2 bodies right away.
hmm
Yeah, Tim, this Hope Creepers deck is pretty good. Hope Creepers in general has been in the top, I would say, 2 for the last uh, what are we going on 4 months now since Hope came out, or 6 months? I don't remember, but it's been a while, and Tuxedo has certainly refined it and took it to the top for I think the last Shuffle Bus, one of the last Shuffle Bus tournaments, and we even talked about it on our podcast, just trying to theory craft various answers to Hope Creepers in general, and we used Tuxedo's list as the I guess the archetype. And this one is
yeah,
very aggressive with double down. Oh, okay. He plays double down on the Salamander Monk Spirit. That's interesting.
okay. Is there going to be a void pulse coming through? I think he just needs 2 damage to get through here if he has a
For
molten
molten
gold in
gold
hand.
range, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, no.
Oh, no void pulse. Okay.
Okay, interesting. That was a good call though. Yeah.
Duplicate's still available, so Aerodel probably has to put something down to get in the way of the duplicated snapper.
Now the question is, I mean, obviously Hope has Snapper still available, so I don't think Tuxedo's going to run into board clog, but I mean, it's in theory the only possibility. Now, I suspect, however, just based off of, I don't know, did Tuxedo meditate up the sympathy die? He could have drawn into sympathy pain and molten gold, in which case there's no outs.
Mm.
Um, it's just either two sympathy pains over the course of the round, or sympathy pain and maybe another swing or two that Flora doesn't really have a choice but to guard. Now let's see. Explosive growth is in the deck. Explosive growth on Mirror Spirit would make it a 10 attack. That would be super hype to see.
Yeah. Um, so I have 5 tokens. Yeah, 10 attack. Not quite enough to one shot, which is what she would need. But
No.
hype and
Mm, still has enough. So let's see. Explosive growth would be the sympathy and nature. Molten gold would be another three, so it'd be 13. And then the charm die could be a sympathy pain, so that would be 15. Yeah, not enough. And as
However, if there's another mirror spirit that comes down late in the round, if she's able to survive, that could provide the damage that she needs.
it could, how many
Oh no,
units?
mirror. Yeah, yeah,
How many units are you going to actually get? And that's if she drew the other book.
yeah, yeah. A lot of ifs here. She's only got 3 cards in hand. What could they be?
Any other thing to look at is just the dice used so far. I mean, Tuxedo hasn't even used duplicate yet, which he always can on the snapper that is even there on board to pressure, and he's got 6 dice, sorry, up, and Flora only has 4, and it's her turn, so she's going to go down to 3. So there's a real deficit right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that round one is just super feels bad, and I'm not entirely sure what Flora could have done other than maybe try and turtle up with Raptor Herder um, and the 4 books and just not not attack at all, and try
mm.
and draw into a better round two. And if you don't attack, it makes it a lot harder for Hope to get the double thorns out.
Yeah. That's an interesting idea because even if she does get thorns out, I mean they're 3 attack. So if you can block a 3 attack unit with a raptor or hatchling, then you can kind of pseudo heal damage that way, or at least not let Hope get the maximum damage that she could.
Yeah, and you don't even counter the thorns in that case either because they're going to die and you don't want to give the in-round tokens.
Right.
So you just sort of eat it up, knowing that you have top of round two to potentially drop some more bodies. Okay, so there is
Yeah.
the other Mirror Spirit book.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't really add any pressure. Um, Mirror Spirit right now, even if it swings, like as Tuxedo, you don't care to take 4 damage.
Yeah. You don't care to take 10 or oh,
Yeah,
there's another token on that mirror spirit now.
Yeah,
So that would be up to 12. But yeah, you don't care to take 12 either because you can just win. I think these mirror spirits might have to block.
Shadow also says, don't know if Airedale has Fate Reflection in the deck, but that would have been a good first five. Um, Airedale does. There are two, excuse me, in the deck, so that could have been an option to try and reflect it onto one of the seedlings and clear it out that way.
Okay, so the sympathy pain coming down to take out the seedling is pretty massive, I think.
That is nice. Yeah. So now Tuxedo only has Sally and Crab. I wonder if he just had a really bad draw. Um, like maybe he'll ditch his hand because I mean he did double down on the monk spirit, which you know is not the best value play,
Yeah.
especially since he really only pressured a little bit. But at the same time, Flora is down to two, so it's really just a sympathy pain away from game over.
hmm I kind of wonder if she has to risk it if she does have the explosive growth here. Uh, but does she have enough dice to block?
That would be 2, 6, 12. 12 damage is still not enough. Even with the Sally, it's only
Right.
13. And
I'm
then,
thinking the Sally could block the tidal crab and she'd go down to one. Okay, but she instead plays the mirror spirit. Okay.
okay, so no explosive growth. So that's even from a pure damage standpoint, it's worse, but it's better in terms of having blockers
Yeah.
now at least. Yeah. Oh no. Well, that's not great. Uh, Tuxedo still hasn't broken his guard, so there's no way for Flora to pressure the hatchling, which means you get duplicate hatchling swing for five, and you have to block both hatchlings. And
Yeah.
then he still has the dice for Sally after that. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Huh.
Well, that is the other option. Now it's really bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Finish on burn. Well,
Yep.
that was a quick one. That was, I mean, technically 3 rounds, but the early pass, I don't think that was more than 20 dice. I think that was exactly 20 dice actually, because he carried over two.
Hmm.
So there you have it.
That first round from the Hope Creepers with the snapper, especially to chew down the thorns and feed the seedlings,
Yep.
extremely potent. Well sequenced from Tuxedo and very well played.
Yeah, he's been around this list for a while, and that shows just how strong it is. So congratulations, Tuxedo. He now moves on, and I'm not sure the matchup. You have the matchups, right? Do you know who he's going to face?
He will be facing off in the finals against the winner of um, Brankus on Brennan and Carl Diaz on a very different Hope Creepers list.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
so
hmm.
I'm hoping that match will happen this weekend, but I haven't talked to them yet, so we'll see when that one gets scheduled. But yeah,
Yeah.
hoping and one hope making it to the finals could have another, or could have the other sort of meta boogeyman Brennan. I will have to see how that goes.
I I kind of hope uh, that Brankus makes it, just because it'll be interesting to see the matchup of Brennan potentially Allburn versus Creepers. I think that'll be interesting, but if it's Tuxedo versus Carl, that's going to be I think a much grindier, thinkier game as well. Probably a lot longer, and it should also be very entertaining. So hopefully we get to commentate on that depending on when it is.
Yeah, that would be great. I think either way it'll be exciting. I mean, seeing how long these round ones last and how long Hope can keep the seedlings going and such, and I think a Hope Mirror matchup would be quite interesting. I'd be interested to see that. But also, if Brankus can manage to defeat Carl, then it would also be interesting to see Brennan against two very different style of Hope decks, Hope Creeper decks, that is.
It would also be just an incredible achievement for Brankus as a rookie. I mean, he just
Yeah.
came in first tournament, plays Brennan, and if he makes it to the finals, that would be huge. I think also potentially concerning about the Brennan deck, but nonetheless, I mean that would be massive. So
Yep, yep.
this
Yeah,
should
on the
be.
one hand, I mean, he's coming in with a very well honed deck from JK 007. Um, that and I believe he has provided his notes and everything with that deck as well about some of the play lines. And if I'm not mistaken, Brankus plays Pokemon
Yes.
competitively, I think.
Yeah.
So he certainly is in that competitive card game mindset. But yeah, coming in just brand new and even getting top four this far is extremely impressive. And I think it partially shows how powerful Brennan and Vern in general are currently.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
I played JK's list actually last night against Shadow, and it's just wild that in one turn you can do 7 burn damage between Spirit Burn, Final Cry, and Molten Gold. It
mhm.
really is punishing, and it's very very difficult to even try and plan around that. But Flora, yeah, we did enjoy that. I know that was a real rough snowball match, but nonetheless, I think your achievement getting to the semis is incredible. Um, and you had a really strong list. I think this was just a very, very difficult matchup, and we'll see where you take Aradel in the next tournament.
Yeah, and it was cool to see even this game, like it was a snowball matchup, like you said, the treatment, but with the potential for explosive growth, and I know there's standstill in this deck too, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
even from that massive board deficit that ended up snowballing from round one, there was some comeback potential um, that you could see. It was a bit far fetched, but I mean, it was basically a 16 health to 12 health game at the end of the day because you could have swung with explosive growth.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
Yeah, you can
so
never count out an X grow standstill play.
yeah, yeah, very well done and well played, Flora. Um, Great to see you succeed, and you really did the red group proud this season. I'm sure the treatment will agree.
Very, very
Uh,
well. I mean, this so far, and I mean to you as well. Like you're the organizer of this tournament, and I don't know about everyone else, but I think I can confidently say that everyone has had a huge amount of fun. It's great to start off the year with a tournament in general, but then for it to be an open tournament, which can be for some people very stressful. For other people, it's exactly what they want. I think this has just been a ton of fun, and there's been a ton of really great games to watch. And yeah, so thank you for organizing. Hopefully the Waves X season open will continue.
yeah, I'm very happy to do this. I really want there to be some outlet for open lists. I, of course, love open and closed lists for different reasons. And since there was no big sort of competitive tournament at the beginning of the year, I thought it would be a good opportunity to have that outlet. I know a lot of players had mentioned that they still want to do open list tournaments, and yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. But I think it was Tuxedo who was mentioning that if you can get over the nerves of it and the crazy first five mind games and such, it is kind of good to learn an open list in one way because it's a bit more predictable. You can see all of the options that you're up against, and especially if you don't know the entire card pool by memory for a new player,
Yeah,
it can be helpful that way. But I mean, at the same time, we saw all of the decks that were brought at this tournament. They no holds were barred. I think everyone brought very competitive lists um, to try to win, and it was. I think this will be a good indication of at least a few of the very top meta decks and how they're still extremely dominant. And some up and comers as well. We had a lot of interesting deck lists
yeah.
that performed very well, even though they weren't in the mainstream.
I think. Oh, so Timothy, who's in the chat, I believe that's Ninja Dance Matt Tim. He brought, well, not exactly Kyla's deck, but he brought a Hydra deck, and that also performed very well. And so we're seeing like a lot of decks that were strong, even a year ago, um, being piloted by newer players because it makes sense. We talk about net decking a lot, and it's like if you're gonna jump into a tournament, don't be afraid to net deck things that have worked before. And he did. He had a really good showing as well. I don't remember all the lists, but it's just like everyone has really brought it, and I think that's exciting because I know that there was some criticism in prior tournaments last year where it felt like some people, weren't bringing the best of the best, and I don't think you can deny that that's what was brought this season, this tournament. So very
Yeah,
excited.
100%. 100% agree with that.
All right.
And yeah, it'll be
Oh, sorry.
great
Go
to
ahead.
see the yeah, it'll be great to see the other quarterfinal match, the finals, and excited to see Phoenix League. And I think in late March it will be the first Phoenix League tournament for closed list as well. So, and we got a draft going on right now. Just tons of different fun Ashes tournaments in general to jump into if you're a new player and still somehow listening to us right now.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't jump in the draft this time just because it's been busy, but it'll be fun to watch, and we'll see. I mean, commentating is fun, and if everyone is up for it, then either me, you, or the other two stooges will try and commentate some games, and yeah, just be a voice for hyping some of the great moments that we get to watch. So I'm going to wrap this up just for everyone, and I guess do you have any sign off that you want to use?
Sure, yeah. Thank you so much, The Treatment, for streaming and commentating these. I know you and Smendrix also did an amazing job on Flora and Brian B's game. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, thank you, The Treatment. That's how I will sign off.
All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye bye.